Cool. Bogert, do you want to kick us off with some of the announcements?
Yeah, I mean, so as you guys know, we got listed on BitMart, which is the second centralized exchange that we've been listed on. So deposits went live today. You can deposit ACYC over there, and then trading goes live tomorrow at I believe 3 p.m. Eastern, which is very nice. You know, onboard a lot more people from more traditional markets, less experience with Uniswap. So that's great. We've mentioned before we're going to be having a YouTube channel, which we do have, and it should be populated late tonight, early tomorrow with every single past ACYC spaces. And it will also have every single future ACYC spaces. And we also have plans for a lot of other content to be coming to that YouTube channel to fill that out, provide some insights and clarity to ACYC in more, concise and palatable formats. And so that's where I'll leave my little side of the updates and let you take over, Nate.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, perfect updates. And as far as the BKEX, if you buy your tokens on BKEX, you will not accumulate reflections within the exchange. And then, Bogert, can you confirm that if they withdraw their tokens from BKEX, they won't be taxed?
Yeah, that's right. So, we aren't, I mean, personally and generally, we aren't big fans of, custodial wallets through exchanges. So we have made it so withdrawing your ACYC from BKEX is tax-free. So if you do decide to buy on that platform, you withdraw to your MetaMask wallet to earn reflections, and you will not be taxed for that. If you do decide to leave your ACYC on the platform, it's not reflections, but there are dividends that are paid out to holders from the taxes on the platform. So that is also an option.
Cool. Yeah. So you'll get dividends. You won't get actual reflections of tokens. So it just depends on which you like more. So yeah, as Bogert said, tomorrow will be listed on BitMart. That'll be our second centralized exchange. And for the near future, we won't be gunning for any more, but if one does decide to reach out to us, we won't shy away from replying. Then Bogger is going to upload the YouTube videos after the space to our official YouTube, and one of our community members has accepted the role of adding little subtitles in terms of or timestamps in terms of what was shared at what times. So that's very exciting in that regard. I know a lot of people here listen to the YouTube videos in 2x speed, and I would for sure do the exact same. Or, if some of the information is redundant to you, you can just look at the timestamps and see what might be new based off of that. Cool. And then going forward, we've had a lot of questions in terms of what can we share with Pan, what can we share with Dione. As far as Pan goes, we're still up in the air. Pan, has yet to have a day in the red. Pretty much, I think she's had one red day since her launch, almost a couple weeks, actually more than a couple weeks ago. But we can't at this moment disclose how much, when she exited, what she exited, other than what we've teased in the alpha channel. I know I've showed a lot of our entries and a lot of our exits in the alpha channel, but as far as that goes, nothing's officialized. But Dione is a public wallet. People can track what Dione's doing through our website, acycapital.com or acy.capital. You can track what Dione's buying, what Dione's selling. And I think going forward, we are going to do something in terms of a weekly, plus or minus for Dione. In terms of, Dione started with X amount of ETH this week, and at the end of the week, Dione had X amount as well. Personally, the way Dione's trading, Dione is buying dips or uptrending tokens. I reported in our alpha channel the other day that Dione, bought something for 5 Ethereum and sold it for 10. A few hours later, because it was in a heavy uptrend, just got a call out from an influencer, and it was kind of something that was a little undervalued. So that's just like one of examples of the trades. Another one is, if anybody's heard of the Fabric FUD today, Dione bought the dip on Fabric. But I don't want to get too much into it. On our Discord, we have a little Discord channel for Dione, and we can manually enter and exit trades. Yeah, a little blooper, a little Dione meant to exit a certain amount, but instead entered. That's just one of our functions that had a little error. So Dione did buy the dip, but Dione accidentally did not sell the top. Dion's still in the profit on that trade, but instead of turning 10 Ethereum into 15, it's more or less 10 Ethereum into 12. It's no big deal. So yeah, we're gonna try to be more transparent about Dione because honestly, we have no issues with that. Just know that if you are tracking the Dione wallet, Dione buys stuff at dips, whether it's macro or micro. So if you were tracking the Dione wallet a couple weeks ago, you would have saw that Dione bought the spell dip. Let me see. Sometimes I get my decimals messed up. Dione bought the spell dip at 0.13 cents. So, 0.013. And today it is at 0.123. So 0.013 into 0.023 is about a 80% gain. But if you saw Dione enter, you would have also saw it go to 0.008. So imagine, we'll just do numbers. So Dione bought at 13, it went down to 8, but now it's at 23. All of that's calculated. When we do different types of trades, we will buy the stuff like fabric that dips 50% in an hour, but we'll also buy macro dips. So if you're buying and you see it go lower, just know that Dione kind of expected that, and Dione's going to average in and make some money off of that as well. And also that spell was staked. Same thing with Ohm. We originally bought Ohm at about $440, and it went down to as low as 300. Today it's back up to, I believe, like 460. Let me see. It's up to 460. So even though it's only up 5% and it did go down almost 30%, we've been staking it for the last 5 or 6 days, and every day we're getting about a 1% return, so that's an extra 5%. And we will continue to stake our Ohm. We believe Ohm is extremely undervalued at a 3 bill market cap for what it is. But as far as the spell goes, that was more or less a quick flip or a prolonged flip, and could definitely see spell going higher than its current price of 0.023 and market cap of 1.8 mil. But the rewards weren't as great as Ohm, and so for that reason, we exited that trade. But yeah, so long story short, we'll try to be more transparent about a weekly profit and loss on Dione. Maybe one week we see plus 50%, and the next week we see a minus 10%. That's expected. Not all trades are going to win. We just win more than we lose. Cool. So moving on.
Yeah, I will also touch, we made an announcement as well in the Discord because people ask, they see when we do, sometimes tease some serious gains Pan has, people say, where are the reflections? Why aren't I getting that? And, the clarity for that is, Pan makes awesome trades. Pan makes a bunch of money. And we could buy back and reflect that, but we can make a lot more money by leveraging those trades. And so that's what we do. Pan's rewards don't go to the Treasury. Pan's rewards go to fueling like our farming efforts and other risk-adjusted strategies. And that's just, it goes back to like the core principle, which is like every decision that we make is focused and geared towards like yielding and reflecting more in the long term for everybody, for all of our holders. So yeah, that's just to address that as well on the Pan side of things.
Cool. Yeah, and then I also wanted to add with that as well. We are going to be doing a transfer of the wealth that Pan has to our farmers, and we're going to be doing that before the end of the year. So before the end of the year, we will post a transaction of the profits Pan has made, aka what we send to the farmers. So that should give everyone a kind of a good understanding of how Pan is performing. At that point, it should be about a month in operation. So it'll be super exciting for everybody to see how much Ethereum Pan transfers over to our farmers. I'm looking forward. Sometimes we're a little bit more hyped than everybody else because of what we can see. But as always, just know that I'm dialed back. Boggart's a little dialed back. Sometimes in the alpha chat, I leak a little bit more than I should. And it's just because I feel a little bit bad about all the stuff that we know and the stuff that I wish we could share at the moment with everybody else. Also, today it is 12/21, and if anybody knows what 12/21 is, it is a day of reflection. 12 backwards is 21, and 21 backwards is 12. 12/21 reflection day. And today is the fifth day of Christmas. Oof, the fifth day of ACYC Christmas. And so I'll just announce publicly that our ACYC fifth day of ACYC will be that we are going to start reflecting $300,000 worth of ACYC between now and the new year. We'll not mention exactly how much we're doing each day or if it is every day, but between now and New Year's, we will reflect over $300,000 of ACYC to all of our holders manually. So between now and the New Year's, we'll be reflecting $300,000 of ACYC to all of our holders, and that'll be, our fifth day of ACYC little announcement. Cool. And then let's talk about manual reflections versus volume-based reflections. When people buy ACYC from Uniswap, 10% of each of the purchase is manually reflected. In long term, we don't expect that to exceed the amount that we're manually doing. And manual reflections will be from profits from farming and 5% of each sell. So what that means is, we expect to get to a place where we're bringing in a couple $100,000, $500,000 of profit from farming every day. And we want to be reflecting about half of that to our holders. So we will be reflecting anywhere from $125,000 to $250,000 worth of ACYC every single day to our holders. So even though right now the reflections from buys are not as insane as not as insane as imagined, or not as insane as they will be in the future. Just know that the manual reflections are designed to long-term be absolutely monstrous compared to what we're seeing today. Even over the next 9 days, you'll see that the $300,000 of ACYC will kind of, boast everybody's total number by quite a bit. And that's only based, like, $300,000 of ACYC will be pretty much what we'll be reflecting every other day when we're at full functioning force. So yeah, you'll see that every other day instead of every 9 or 10 days. Other than that, I think that's most of our news. Everything's unfolding according to plan. We haven't really had any hiccups at all. And we've added a couple other responsibilities that we didn't initially plan on. One of those being the NFT collection. Our lovely NFT or Patnut or reflection designer, Fruitcake, is pumping out some of the best profile pictures I've seen in a long time. And even now, I can't stop rocking it on Discord. I've got the suited Patnut, and he's pumping out legendaries pretty much daily right now. Don't have an exact launch time for that, but I would be surprised if that collection takes longer than another couple or few weeks. And as we said before, that will be a community collection. We are not going to be running that. It'll be under somebody else, and the community that the couple community members that will be running that have pretty much vouched that all of the money brought in from minting will be sent directly to our treasury. At the time of speaking, we're looking at about 7,777 Patnuts, 7777 reflected, and a mint price of 0.06996, reflected 69, which, at today's Ethereum price is about, I believe it's about 2 mil. Yeah, so we're looking about 2.1 mil. And we will have 20 legendary Patnuts in the collection. 10 of them will be obtainable through mints, and 10 of them will go to auction. The auctions will be split between the legendary designer or designers. So that's exciting too. That'll be about another 2 mil at the most, or at the least, brought into our treasury over the next couple or few weeks. And I just, when I say that we're expecting the 2 mil to come into the Treasury through 7,777 patent nuts. We've added in some fun, I wouldn't even call it utility. We've added in some incentives to mint that should make it worth everyone's while. Regardless, the patent nuts are amazing. Some of these profile pictured patent nuts are just like one of a kind. I will be bidding on some of the legendaries because I will like them and I will want them myself, and I expect other people to want these as well. So yeah, right now our treasury is at about 2 mil or a little bit over 2 mil right now. We're expecting another 2 mil from this NFT collection, bringing us at about 4 mil. And with a couple other things that we have planned that I absolutely cannot and will not mention, we do expect to hit our 10 mil goal in our treasury by the end of Q1 next year. So in the next 4 months, we expect to have 10 mil in our treasury, which should propel us straight to the 100 mil goal that we're aiming at before the end of 2022. So as long as cryptocurrency isn't a scam, then we expect to hit 100 mil treasury by the end of 2022 and start doing ginormous reflections every single day to all of our holders like nobody has ever seen before. And just like keep in mind too that with something so grand as this, nothing's going to happen overnight. We have I think our Telegram is filled with some of the most devout ACYC reflectors or community that I've seen thus far. Just people who understand, trust, and are excited to see everything unfold day by day, week by week, because we've been building this in front of everybody's eyes for the last few weeks. And I don't really see another way to create something so long-term standing as what we have put together in any other fashion. We could have done a pre-sale and raised more money for the treasury so that we could reflect harder. We could have taxed the tokens so much harder so we could have a larger treasury. But long term, I don't see how our project could stand on its 2 feet with those factors entail. We never had a pre-sale. We never had anything of that nature. We never raised any money. We've never done anything legally standing that should compromise our position in the long term. And so I believe that, as long as we keep to our mission, as long as we keep our heads down and keep working and keep bringing gains, and, in the future, starting in January, we'll be showing those gains, because I wouldn't say that there's massive gains unless there were right now massive gains. I don't see any other way that this could come to fruition like it is. And also keep in mind that right now, even if we're at a 20 or 30 or $40 million market cap and we, go to $1 billion, that's about, a 30 to a 40, 50x, something like that. Along the way, though, if you're holding from now until then, you will be getting reflections manually and from buys of our token. So even if it does sound like a 30, 40, or 50x, and if that sounds unappealing in itself, you should have reflected to a much, much, much larger holding by then. And so what started as a 20, 30, or 40, or 50x could end up being 100, 200x from manual reflections and from the reflections on buys. So this should be one of the most exciting things that pretty much anyone has seen unfold if they haven't, purchased Ethereum at 10 cents and held till now. This should be one of those, easy buys, easy holds, and fun, exciting projects to watch develop. And before we wrap this space up, we started with a space every other day. Right now we're in the holidays, and like I said, if I sound a little bit tired, it's because we are literally grinding every day at some things that we can't mention. And so with the holidays and with this heads down grind mode, we'll be moving currently until at least once every 3 days. So if not tomorrow, if not the next day, then the day after that. And I'll leave this off with Bogger, and then I think we'll end with some community questions.
Yeah, so I'll just also touch on the manual reflections thing, because I feel like people miss that a lot. A lot of people come in and they say, where are my reflections? What's going on? And like we've said, volume-based reflections are cool. They're great. 10% of every purchase, they go to everyone else. But that's not by any means what makes this special. And our protocol is fully unique in its ability to manually reflect tokens to holders. So every other protocol that redistributes its gains, that's going through purchase side reflections, which is 10%. And that's great. And we will do that too, in the sense that we have to buy back ACYC tokens at market, with our treasury profits and 10% go to holders. But we have the only ability to manually reflect tokens, all of those purchased tokens to our holders. So, we have the most generous tax structure. And as Nate said, as our treasury grows, the frequency and quantity of those manual reflections will only increase exponentially as well. So we're 3 weeks into the protocol. We have aggregate performance data coming in January. We have a lot of great stuff cooking behind the scenes, tons of plans to fill up the treasury. And as Nate also touched on, regardless of what happens to the market, like the whole principle of ACYC is all coins yield capital, and it doesn't matter what market conditions that's in. You can make money on the way down, you can make money on the way up, you can make money going sideways. And the risk adjusted strategies we have for yielding capital encapsulate all of those market conditions, and will allow us to, even in the ultimate bear that we reach after the blow off top, we will still be, yielding. And we receive questions about that. What if it gets really bad? And still, if it gets really bad, we'll be out there buying the bottom, and we'll be selling those interim peaks. Nate and I both have extensive experience trading in all sorts of market conditions. We were born in bear markets, so we love that and live for it. And we're really excited to trade in those markets and then to return those holdings back to you guys through the unique ability to manually reflect. So yeah, we've got some questions about that before, but now I think we could field a few questions for sure. I see a few people have raised their hands, and if you'd like to ask some questions, go ahead. And I will start with Asset Cowboy. I'll add you as a speaker. And anyone else who has any questions, go ahead. Feel free, raise your hands. We're here. We're always in the Discord, as everyone knows. We basically never sleep, especially myself. ACYC is 100% full time. And as I've mentioned in the Discord as well, none of us have gotten paid. There is the 15% allocation from Treasury profits, but that comes later. Right now, we're focusing on yielding for you guys. So there's been no team allocation up to this point, just for whatever that's worth as well. And it looks like Asset Cowboy's having some issues connecting. So if anyone else has some questions, feel free to raise your hand. We will field them. And if not, we can also wrap this up. Yeah, all right. Well, let's just wrap it up here. And, we're always around. You can ping us in the Discord. We have, several thousand members in there. We have over 1,100 members in Telegram. Nate and I are always around. So, give us a ping, ask us any questions, and thank you for listening to this week's Spaces. Oh, you know what? I will OX Hodl E. Like to ask a question. Let's do it. All right, you're on as a speaker, my friend. Whenever you're ready, Hodl. We're ready for your question.
Oh, sweet. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming out.
Hey, that was super exciting. I just wanted to give you guys a shout out because the work you've been doing behind the scenes is definitely going to start to show, and it already is. And I'm just really pumped about what you guys are doing and can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you. Yeah, as we always say, we'd love to share so much more than we do, and Nate is inclined to, leak things. And sometimes we that's just how it is. But we're really, really excited about what's going on. And, patience is the name of the game with these things. You don't build $1 billion protocol overnight. And so sideways movements and days of low volume are all to be expected and not even a concern for us. We're heads down, yields up, behind the scenes, like making gains, returning that to other avenues of income streams. And then eventually, that will come back to all of us with increasing frequency. So thank you for the support. And I'm glad you're as excited as we are.
Yeah, just a quick backstory. When I first was trading on Binance Smart Chain earlier this year, one of the first tokens I got into was a reflexive token. But obviously they don't work like this one, and they're much less sophisticated. And so this is like what I believe and feel like a reflexive token should be like. And especially being on the ETH chain is another like huge bonus for me. So all around, just super pumped, and just want to wish you guys a happy holidays.
Thank you. Yeah, happy holidays to you too. And yeah, again, highlighting exactly what you said. You know, a lot of tokens that are manually or that don't have manual reflection, which is every single one besides us, um, those are banking on like the hope that they're going to have maintained volume. And so, you know, we see those succumb to, you know, the trials and tribulations of not having volume, and those reflections go away. But the whole idea here is, you know, we have a huge team of advisors and expert traders and tons of risk adjusted strategies that allow us to yield and return reflections to everybody without worrying about volume like that, you know, so that isn't primary concern at all. And so, yeah, I mean, thank you again for coming up, and happy holidays to you too, my friend. All right. And if anybody else has any questions, you know, raise your hand. And if not, we can just wrap this up here. Yeah. All right. Well, let's end it. Thank you guys for listening into another one. Again, the YouTube will be up with all of the previous spaces and nice timestamps, so you can go through those and listen and send them to your friends. A lot more content coming soon. That'll be up tonight, tomorrow morning. And yeah, we'll be in the Discord. So thanks for listening in.